Welcome everybody. We are going through the agenda of the day, and before we do that, actually we are in a prayer, which is also a part of the agenda. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and the county assemblies for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call the performance of important tasks of the county. Let your blessing descend upon us as here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberations in so just and acceptable a manner, as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county, and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen. Maybe to the members, is there any kind of apology? Anybody with apology? No apology. All members are present. I want to bring to your attention that we are in the interrogation of the Auditor General's report on the financial statement of Ahero sub-county level 4 hospital for the year ended 30th June 2022. We have to adopt our agenda. Who is proposing? Members. Honorable Matara has proposed. Honorable James Omolo has seconded. Now we are leading to the introduction. I'm the chair, Honorable Ken Ouko, MCA West Kisumu Ward, Chair, Pick Park County Assembly of Kisumu.
Thank you, Chair. Mwarindo Geoffrey, MCA Miwani Ward, and Vice Chair, Pick Park.
Morning, everyone. Nancy Matara, member of the committee, nominated MC.
Good morning. My name is James Oyugibere, MCA for Nyalenda B Ward and a member of the committee. Thank you.
My name is Honorable James Omolo, MCA West Nyakach, a member of the committee.
And my name is Seth Okumu, MCA East Sem, and a member.
Back to the Secretariat.
Thank you, Chair. I am Austin Ochieng. I am the committee clerk.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Chris Oguta, clerk assistant to the committee.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Wycliffe Owade, a researcher attached to this committee.
Thank you, Chair. My name is CPM Molen Achayo, a member of the Secretariat.
We have just seen a member kindly introduce.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Honorable Kothara Kwach, member and MCA from Kolwezi East Ward.
Back to the office of the Auditor General.
Good morning. My name is Kennedy Ongoy. I represent the Auditor General of this.
Good morning. I'm Margaret Moronge, Office of the Auditor General of Kisumu Region.
Thank you. We are back to the accounting officers. You can introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Dr. Leon Onwanga. I am the medical superintendent at Ahero County Hospital and also the consultant obstetrician gynecologist at the facility.
My name is Ezekiel Ononga from the Department of Health.
My name is Lilian Obondio Sunga, the nursing officer in charge of the Ahero County Hospital.
Mr. Sergeant Atam, kindly please approach the chair. we have to bring to your attention that you are going to administer the oath to the hospital superintendent. You stand and you hold the Bible from your Bible.
I, Ms. Lillian Bonareri Ononga, do solemnly and sincerely swear that every word that I shall utter before the Public Accounts and Investment Committee is the true and nothing but the truth, and that every statement and declaration that I shall make shall be made conscientiously believing the same to be true and according to the Oaths and Statutory Declaration Act. So help me God.
I may like to bring to your attention, to the accounting officers, that the oath taken by the med soup is by extension on your head. So you have to be very clear. If you are given, you can be given opportunity to say something. You must understand that by extension you are also under oath. So no one is allowed to actually lie or utter something which is against the law. Thank you so much. May I confirm from the Secretariat if they got the response from the accounting officers?
Chair, I can confirm that we did get the responses on time.
May I confirm from the Office of the Auditor General if they got responses from the accounting officers?
Yes, I wish to confirm through the chair that we received the responses and we verified.
Thank you very much. May you please explain to the committee the audit opinion and what informed them?
Thank you, Chair. The audit opinion that was issued for Ahero Sub-County Level 4 Hospital is a disclaimer of opinion. By disclaimer of opinion is meant that the auditor did not obtain sufficient and appropriate evidence to provide an audit opinion. It's like the auditor was limited in scope. Thank you.
Thank you. We had explained very clearly the kind of questions you were to handle, and maybe you have them with you. You are to start from question 3. 3.0. Question 3.0. That's our first question.
Thank you, Chair. Question 3.0 comprises two questions, 1 and 2. The statement of financial performance reflects total revenue of Kenya cedis 1,797,351. The amount includes transfers from the county government amount of Kenya cedis 7,181. The following satisfactory matters are noted. 1. Inaccuracies in revenue. The financial statements of the County Executive of Kisumu reflected transfer to the hospital amount of 9,568. A moment. 9,568,181, resulting in an unexplained or unreconciled variance of Kenya shillings 2,311,000. Further, the hospital received a grant of 1,620,000 from a foundation through a commercial bank account which was not disclosed in the statement. In addition, the statement of cash flows reflects rendering of service medical service income of Kenya shillings 6,160,460, which differs with the unsupported amount reflected in the statement of financial performance of Kenya shillings 11,849,160, resulting in an unreconciled and unexplained variance of Kenya shillings 5,608,700.
Officer.
Through the chair, in the financial year 2021-2022, the hospital received a total of 11,948,180 as transfers from the county, as detailed in the cooperative bank account shown in Annex 1. During the financial year 2021-2022, the hospital also partnered with Mom Care Foundation to support delivery and maternal services to beneficiaries who sought services at the hospital. The cost would then be reimbursed to the hospital KCB account. Hence, the 1.6 million flagged in the report as detailed in Annex 2. On the rendering of service medical income issue, we analyzed the revenues and arrived at 9,350,000 shillings as detailed on the table below and evidenced on Annex 3, 2, and 4. So we received NHI claims amounting to 4.4 million, Mom Care claims amounting to 1.6 million, cash collection amounting to 3.3 million, bringing the total to 9.3. As such, we acknowledge that the 6 million and the 11.8 million were erroneous.
Back to the auditors.
Okay, thank you, Chair. In as much as they have done the analysis, establishing what caused the variances, reconciliation has not yet been done, and even a revision in the financial statement. So the issue still stands.
Back to the members. Members, do you have anything to say? There was a grant of 1.64, 1,640,000, which was not captured in the financial statement. Why was it not captured in the financial statement? And if it was an oversight, why was it not amended during the time of audit or provided for?
Through the chair, that must be an oversight, but we are going to revise the financial statements according to the new figures that were established.
So you are given the opportunity to, during the management, you are given the opportunity to provide all this. Maybe if you have any evidence to provide today, you have any evidence to provide today?
Through the chair, the evidences are attached to the response, but I also have some copies I can pass around.
Give them to the auditor by then, because it was a requirement of the auditor.
They
are there.
Yeah, thank you. These are, we are talking about money issues, and we need supporting schedules and evidences. There are variances. One, I don't know whether you just realized now that not reporting 1.64 million was an oversight. I don't know whether you are realizing that now. And again, you've not, I want an explanation on 2.38, that variance. Why is it there?
Through the chair, I think we established as a management that that was an error, because from the financials, the bank statements, the total that we get as transfers from the county amounts to 11 million. But from the county executive, finances from the county executive of Kisumu reflects 9.5 million. So, but our bank statements actually reflect the 11 million that we are reporting here.
Thank you, Chair. Income received in Enterprise Resource Planning System, ERP. During the year, the cash income of Kenya shillings 6,160,460 corrected differed with an amount of 749,697 recorded in the Enterprise Resource Planning System, ERP, resulting in an unreconciled and unexplained variance of Kenya shillings 5,410,793. Further, it was noted that during the year under review, the hospital collected revenue in the form of cash payments, which were received in a web-based ERP. The money would then be deposited to the county revenue fund bank account, after which the hospital was given a receipt by the county government directorate of revenue. The management explained that the system would clash often. However, no explanation was given on how revenue was collected in the event system failed. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of total revenue of Kenya shillings 15,797,341 could not be confirmed.
Back to the management, the accounting officers.
So the hospital has an automated HMIS revenue collection system that only records cash collected. During the financial year 2021-2022, all revenues were collected through the HMIS system, which is called FundSoft. It is in the month of April 2022 when the FundSoft crashed, and upon recovery, only recorded the amount recorded was 749,647. To address this issue flagged herein, we sought from the FIS system at the Department of Health offices and obtained data that the hospital collected cash revenue of 3.3 million during the financial year under review. With the data obtained, the hospital recorded Kenyan shillings 21,298,240 shillings as total revenue for the financial year 2021-2022 as detailed in the table below. The management could not reconcile the 2.4 million further, and as such, it may be attributed to erroneous posting. So transfers from the county government was 11,948,180, as shown in Annex 1. NHIF claims amounted to 4.4 million, as detailed in Annex 3. The Mom Care, which is the grant we talked about, it is 1.6 million. It's detailed in Annex 2. Then there's the cash collection, amounted to 3.3 million, bringing a total to 21,298,000.
Back to the auditors.
Thank you, Chair. Reconciliation of the variances is yet to be done, and even how they pack up their data is also yet to be done. So the issue still stands. Thank you.
How does this FundSoft, how does it work? Because it is something which is approved. It was approved and it was collecting. It was a gadget we were using to collect, or a system we were using to collect money, and that's a public fund. It has to be accounted for. How does it work?
Okay, through the chair, I would request the accountant to give a detailed explanation on that.
Through the chair, Ahero County Hospital uses an HMIS system called FundSoft. The software currently, what is operationally in that system is for receipting of cash. So when a patient comes and you pay through a PESA, let's say BS malaria for 50 shillings, then upon confirmation of the message, the cashier inputs your details and the service that is supposed to be offered. Then a receipt is produced. Then on daily or on real-time basis, the system is able to produce a report of all the transactions which have happened there. Thank you, Chair.
If that is the case, how was the income variance when you're selling 5,410,700 outside EIP being collected? How did you collect this money then? You have a system collecting all this money. At the same time, we are talking about the money collected out of the system. How was this collected? Just for the observation.
Through the chair, I request the accountant to answer that question.
I will say that during the financial year 2021-2022, the funds of system was okay. It was operating well. Then I think it was during the preceding financial year, that 2022-2023, when the system had some issues. I think it must have been in April. The system crashed. So on when the auditors came and on interrogating the system, the auditors were not able to get the previous stored data for July 2021 to June 2022. That is what was causing this variance here. So that is why we sought the records. We have secondary report at the department. On monthly basis, the hospital do send their reports to the county department. So we sought for that secondary report from the department that was now giving us the total collection of 3.3. Thank you.
So the only evidence we have is from the FIS system that we got for the Department of Health.
There was a time you had a breakdown. So it means you are collecting some money. Outside the system completely. Where is the evidence that you are collecting some money? Because we are seeing some variance here, which is actually showing you are collecting some money outside there. Now, do we have a record which is very clear? Because you have to prove all this. Even if you received 5,410,000, you have to prove that we received this money and these are the records. You can't just quote a figure without justification. So that is what we are asking. Why don't you provide the evidence? I hope you have a accountant with you and an administrator. Or who is the lady?
Through the chair, we apologize. Our admin was not able to be here today because he lost a family member. So the lady seated here with us is the nurse facility in charge.
But despite the fact that the admin is not there, it is you are the one accountable. And that is why you are the account manager. So we can't say because the admin is not there, you can't answer, because these are the questions which were raised sometimes back. And now you are in the assembly. You have to justify.
Through the chair, when the system crashes, we usually give the patients manual receipts. But for this particular financial year, I'm yet to find the receipts.
It is just very clear. That is what we are talking about. If you are giving the receipts, you are giving out the receipts to justify that you received some money. what shows that you receive some money? You know, you can't just put a figure and make us believe that you received some money. You received some money, yes. How much did you receive from the paper form? That is very important. Because it is the papers which will actually, you are not there. It is the papers which will actually prove that it is true you received some money, but not just quotation. So, you don't, okay, it's good, even if you don't answer, but we'll make a decision on that. We proceed to the next question.
Next question is on income received in enterprise. Variances between financial statement amount and the ledger amounts. During the year, the statement of financial performance reflects 5 expenses which differ with the corresponding ledger balances, resulting in an unreconciled and unexplained variances as separated below. There's the 4A, financial statements amount, ledger balances, then there's the variance. Employee cost was 1,691,336 in the financial statement. The figure reflected in the ledger was 1,507,414. The variance is Kenya shillings 183,922. Order management expenses was 160 in the financial statement, but the support only had 112,000, which resulted in a variance of 15,000. Repairs and maintenance to property and building was 107,500. The support was 123,700. We have a negative variance of 16,200. Repairs to motor vehicles, we had 599,600. The ledger balance was 290,600. We had a difference of 309,000. General expenses, we had 4,240,249. While the support only 3,355,233 was supported, leaving a balance of 885,016 as unsupported. In the circumstances, the accuracy of financial statement could not be confirmed. Thank you.
Back to the managers.
Through the chair, the hospital management acknowledges the variances. The management further analyzed the expenditure and prepared expenditure schedule, referred to Annex 5. The management has noted that the variances could be as a result of erroneous posting and weak filing records. According to Annex 5, the employee cost comes to a total of 1.9 million. General expenses comes to a total of 4 million. For medical and clinical cost comes to a total of 6 million, while the repairs and maintenance comes to a total of 972,920. So the total expenditure comes to 12,971,146.
The auditors.
Thank you, Chair. Reconciliation is yet to be done in the revised financial statement. So the issue still stands.
Back to the members.
Through the chair, we are going to revise the financial statements
Pet soup, just relax. We are dealing with the members. The moment we are done with you, we start with the auditor. We take it to you, back to the auditor. Then from there, we give to members. Now he will respond towards what the members, concern of members. Thank you. Honorable Kumu.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, on their Schedule 5 that they are mentioning, I just want to know there's one, Joseph Omwenga, who seems to be getting a lot of money in terms of interest. And I don't understand what he's doing with such kind of monies. Maybe you could explain to me why Joseph Omwenga, both from the bank statements and from your schedule, he seems to be receiving a lot of interest. And why is Ahero giving him a lot of money?
Back to, we are giving you the opportunity. Metsu.
Through the chair, Joseph Omwenga was the hospital admin during that financial year. I believe the interest was to hospital, day-to-day hospital operations.
Yeah, what do they consider day-to-day hospital operations?
Could you please expound so that we understand really? Because you are also within the hospital and you did not receive this much. Or are you receiving such kind of money? Then there must be something so funny or something so special with this person in question. So why was the lady or the man receiving all this money? Yeah.
We don't choose step by step, and we make it finish with this issue of Japheth Omwenga. Actually, the name is Japheth Omwenga, who seems to be getting a lot of money for day-to-day operations. And I just wanted to know what they consider day-to-day operations for him to receive that kind of money.
Through the chair, I would like to request the accountant to expound on that.
Thank you. Through the chair, during the financial year 2021-2022, the hospital operations, the accounting, the procurement bid in Ahero was being handled by the HAO. So during this period, from the explanation I got when I also inquired about this, was that there were some items needed in the hospital, like stationery. There were some items needed at the hospital, like catering at some point. Then there were also issues to do with transport for officers on official duties. So during that period, the HAOs by then could take an interest and control it until it is depleted. It was like something a standing interest. Then it will later be surrendered once depleted. But as we speak now, I think we've corrected that. Now we are channeling most of this interest through our suppliers, and only majorly it's only what we can pay directly to an officer is a claim, maybe for DSA or transport or something like that. Thank you.
Okay. That is funny. Okay.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to confirm why this issue still remains unresolved, as mentioned by the Auditor General. You've heard the explanation. I just asked a very simple question. I think the in-charge said that Mwenga receives money for day-to-day operations. The explanation of Ezekiel, day-to-day operation includes catering. And I don't know if Mwenga is the one who is cooking for people. I don't know what catering involves. Because I can see you also charge for food and rations, and it's charged differently. And this one, Mwenga, who is the admin, was receiving a lot of money. I'm almost adding the totals that he has received that financially, and I'll let you know. And then we'll reconsider if that constitute. And I don't know when you started paying. I don't know why he was paying these people in cash. Why he was allowed to withdraw money, hold it himself, and then pay in cash. I don't know if that is allowed in practice. Maybe, Chair, through you, if we can, Ezekiel can reply that.
Ezekiel in Legenda, maybe from your own profession, do you think that is allowed? You are accountant. This is now where we now want to know. Honorable James. Honorable James? Honorable James, yes.
I just want to know the meaning of the word impressed. I'm really shocked today. What I know as impressed today has changed its meaning. That even a pen in Ahero, there is cash to pay by the person in charge, and that is impressed. Even, I don't know, I can't imagine, because you know what defines impressed? I think the accountant knows, and I think please tell us what is impressed. What you are saying, day-to-day running of an hospital cannot be impressed. We have voted, if it is Siwa, and I've also seen Siwa is paid to an individual, Onyango somebody, George Onyango, is paid as cash, and it's for Kiwasko or whoever is really giving us Siwa services there and water. Chair, something is really wrong, but I just want the definition of the impressed so that we understand, we be in one page. We are like this, because what I know as impressed, let's say the made support, the name Omwenga, he wanted to travel to Kisumu then he has a claim for just having to travel to and fro to Kisumu if he didn't have a vehicle from the government. That could be impressed, but buying a pen, catering, whatever, no. We have other voters which deals with that. Even in a normal primary school, it doesn't work like that. Thank you.
Maybe you can respond to that.
Thank you, Chair. The first question was as to whether this issue of impressed is okay. I think when I joined the department, we found that there were some lapses as to the impressed management during that period, not only in Ahero, but most of our hospitals. What we have done to mean that it was not okay, as per my previous explanation, that this we have since stopped. We have now only limited this kind of impress to probably DSAs, and maybe if there was a dire need of emergency, where I would call an emergency whereby an emergency may occur and there is a specific drug. There are some drugs which are quite difficult to store in the hospital. They may be bought, an officer may buy it on cash, like maybe anti-venom has run out of stock and we can't just buy it for, an officer may buy it.
But accountant, you are just explaining the same thing. You are repeating yourself. Did you get the question really? This time, these are MCS, these are not councillors.
Yes. I think from the submission, if I was just to get you right, you are agreeing that it was wrong to give Japheth Omwenga cash as impress to buy those things that you mentioned. Is that what you are admitting to?
Through the chair, yes.
Chair, having admitted that, then we need to follow up on this Japheth Omwenga, because I think these are monies, in my opinion, that have not been spent well for Ahero Hospital. And they should go also to the monies that they've spent. I think they are giving monies for sewerage to individuals. And I don't know why they're giving monies for sewerage to individuals unless, I don't understand, but there are lots of money being given to individuals, and we need to really dig deep into this. And I want to thank the auditor for bringing this up. Thank you.
And through the chair.
Maybe, okay.
And maybe also this Jojo Nyango for the water and sewerage. Is he supplying the water or take, I don't know, I'm not getting it. Like even if you follow, is a staff. Who is Jojo Nyango? Because Jojo Nyango has been given a lot of money, 55, 45,000, 18,000. Yeah. Can you clarify?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Chair, if the accountant has admitted that these monies were given to the individual Omwenga and for the purposes which were not supposed to be, then there is no any shortcut about it. It is embezzled, and he has to refund the entire amount he's been receiving from our county referral hospital for all this period. Because you cannot purport to, having been given and then validate, you bought antivenom from a pharmacy and then brought it to the facility. That is not the norm. So if someone was given cash to go and buy, and the way he is explaining it, then that is a money embezzled. We cannot accept that. Thank you.
Honorable Akwach.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, mine is also revolving just around the imprest. Because imprest, even if somebody is given imprest, you have to surrender that the latest imprest before you are given another one. And you surrender it by way of producing the receipts and what have you. In the annexures here, I can only see this list plus the voted, the impress, Mara water and sewerage. I don't see anything which is supporting that the impress that was given was surrendered. So the management should respond where the whereabouts of the surrenders.
Maybe, did they surrender? From what you are doing? Because that is a requirement that you have to surrender. Did they surrender? And when they surrender receipts and all those things as what? Because an impress is very clear from what we are talking about. Thank you.
Through the chair, I would like the accountant to answer that.
Madam Metsub, do you now understand how these people are messing you now? Those are the ways they mess you up. That's why we have a disclaimer. Because most of these things cannot be supported. Even when the auditor comes there, there's nothing given to the auditor to verify what is happening. Because there are a lot of cartels around the hospital system. So somebody just wakes up one day and say, give me money, 25,000. I'm going to repair the sewage system, which is bad. And no one goes there to confirm whether it is bad or not. So these are some of the reasons why you have a disclaimer. And Ahero sub-county hospital, with all the facilities and all the requirements, along the way, we can't afford a disclaimer report. And you are now finding the reasons behind it. So, there was a question, did they surrender the impress? I think the issue remains unresolved. We continue.
Thank you, Chair. The next question is on inaccuracies in cash and cash equivalent. The statement of financial position reflects cash and cash equivalent balance of Kenya shillings 2,528,832, which, as disclosed in Note 9A, the financial statements include Cooperative Bank of Kenya Limited account balance of Kenya shillings 1,535,878 being balanced as per bank statement. However, the supporting bank reconciliation statement reflects that adjusted cash balance Kenya shillings 1,200,948, which results in a variance of Kenya shillings 334,930, which representing unpresented checks which was not supported. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of cash and cash equivalents balance of Kenya shillings 2,528,832 not be confirmed.
Back to the accounting officers.
Through the chair, the hospital has two bank accounts that had a balance of 2,528,832 as at the close of 30th June 2022, as tabulated below. The balance formed the cash and cash equivalent. ECB account had 992,254, as shown in Annex 6. A cooperative bank had 1.5 million, as shown in Annex 7. So the total comes to 2.5 million.
Back to the Office of the Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair. Reconciliation on that component has not been done. Thank you. Issue not resolved.
So that is Ahero Sub-County Hospital. Back to the members.
Chair, I don't understand why just reconciliation, and I'm glad Ezekiel is here, and we had agreed that he's going to finish that exam and be registered, become a CPA. But just reconciling bank statements, mnashindwa. You guys cannot reconcile. I'm saying in this bank account we have this, in this one we have this, and that matches the books that you have. From this report, it's like there's some 334,000 that exist, but it's like you don't know where it's coming from. It's neither in the bank, but it's in your. What's the problem, Chair? Maybe they explain to us why is that. Maybe they have some money they're keeping somewhere where the 334 is. Maybe with Japheth Omwenga or Jojo Nyango. Seems to be those are their banks at Ahero.
Doc, you have to explain this. You will have to explain this because you are the person in charge of the facility in terms of all this. Yeah.
Chair, here, it is just the same scenario that we witnessed yesterday, because the bank statement, the bank balance shows 1.5. That one is as per cooperative bank. But the cash book balance, it is 1.2 million. So meaning that there is 334,000 which is in the bank, and they don't know why it is in the bank. So, these are people who are not the non-reconciled or non-surrendered interest. And in that regard, they are trying to cook some things to better their cash book to the extent that now they have excess in the bank. Instead of cooking to have an equilibrium, they cook until they go past whatever is in the bank. So according to their cash book, they should have 1.2 million in the bank, meaning that they cooked without confirming their balances in the bank. Now in the bank, it is more. So we don't know where they want to take the 334. Whether it is meant to be withdrawn so that it remains 1.2, I think they need to tell us.
Maybe this is where we have Mwenga and everybody, Nyango, doing all these things. But he will be in a position of telling us, because now you can't carry somebody's sin. By the way, Lady Superintendent, how long have you been in the sector?
Through the chair, this is going to be my 5th month.
You are 5th month?
Yes.
Mheshimiwa.
Thank you, Chair. Again, the same thing I said yesterday. And I know the person who was there when these expenditures were being done is just somewhere watching, struggling to answer us. I think, and I'll repeat again, maybe without the auditor, we have to call these people and put them to task. They cannot just escape this. And that will be a trend if we don't stop it. They will mess, and then when they just know that it's time for them to face the PICPA committee, then they'll do reshuffles. And then you find somebody who tells you, I'm 1 month old, I am 3 months, I'm 3 days. And you wonder what to ask a 3-day-old person who has just joined the facility. We must stop this, Chair, and get the right people who are mentioned in these audit reports. They are members, and the law allows. The law allows you, whether you are working with the county government or has left and retired or has gone anywhere, we can call you here and ask you those questions and hold you accountable for such expenditures. So I think they shouldn't escape. The day we'll be calling Omwenga and Jojo Nyango here to explain to us where they are taking monies for Ahero, we should also call the in charge who was there so that he or she tells us why such expenditures were being done, and then they become absent and allow people who are just 6 months old to come and answer questions that sometimes they don't understand. Thank you, Chair.
I'm just trying to wonder aloud the situation at hand. I wonder what happened between the 6 months. I don't think we have that audited statement. Now, we are handling some issues back when the lady was not there. Now she's tasked on answering questions she doesn't understand at all. But at the same time, you have to be responsible. Despite that, for the law of natural justice, surely, are we fair? Dealing with somebody that we are leaving the culprit, seated somewhere, watching what is happening here. Mheshimiwa James.
Chair, you are very right. Chair, just for example, if this 334 was somewhere in a bag where the med soup then was the one, the holder, the bag of the bag, and we are here with the new med soup, we are asking her about where was this? If it was not in cooperative and not in KCB, where was it? They are not allowed to carry cash at the facility. So, Chair, it is very valid that if the one who was there then is in a position to answer this, and I don't know how we can summon him or her so that we get down to this. Failure to which, Chair, the current medisup will not even be able to answer this, because obviously this money was somewhere and maybe spent and dispensed of when she was not there. And someone somewhere within this county, and more so still in service in this county. It's just pretty watching. And this can be a precedent that I go to one sub-county, I mess up, and then I'm taken somewhere else, I leave it, the burden to the new person, then the circle continues every now and again. This is a trend. I saw that in Nyakach yesterday. I'm now seeing it now here, and I don't know how many are coming like that. So if it is in order, Chair, whenever such a kind of queries are there, we need to hold, because we will always be looking at the books of previous years, not the current. That is the obvious scenario. There's no way we can like audit this year's expenditure or last year's expenditure. It has to be previous years. So it should be a trend that if the person who handled this cash then, and the person who was the AI holder then is not available at the facility, we need to call him or her also to avail and answer some of these questions before we do our recommendation and reports. You know, the case of one Omwenga, he's the one to answer, tell us how he was giving this guy money. Or is the Omwenga, I don't know. Maybe he's the one who was paying himself. I don't know who was there then. But I try to believe that the person who is really holding key to this audit report is somewhere pretty, and we need to call him. He has to answer all these queries also as we move. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Akwach.
Chair, here I think we need to be in tandem. Yeah, because here, my understanding is that the management has accounted for the 334,000, the money which is still in the bank. Is it? Because according to their cash book, they should have a balance of 1.2 million. But when you go to the bank, they have 1.5 million. So it means they have reconciled even the money which is still in the bank. So they are reconciling before it is put in use. Or maybe we need guidance here.
That is why we have the auditors here with us. Office of the Auditor General, could you please explain?
Thank you, Chair. The correct figure that we go with is the 1.2 million. The reason is that we are reviewing the books of Ahero County, and not the books of the bank. So the only thing that they needed to do is to reconcile the bank statement with the cash book, so that they saw where the 334 was going. The check might not have reached the bank, or the checks might not have reached the bank. That is why there is a difference between their records and the bank. So they needed to do a reconciliation for that amount. The total figure that we have for cash and cash equivalents is Kenya shillings 2,528,832. We have seen 1.2 million. If we subtract 1.2 million from 2.5, there is around 1.3 million, which they have not told us where it is. And when we go to the notes, the financial statements, where they need to disclose the bank accounts, they have just given us another figure, 2.5. So that difference is what difference that cash.
Maybe the accountant will have to admit that he also has a problem. He's also missing the subtract. to whom, to do what is expected of you. Not giving you the full details of what you expect or what is happening. Because this is now you have just to answer. Yes.
To put it in the most layman possible so that we understand. From my understanding, the 2.5 something was in the cash book as available for the hospital as at that 30th of June. Am I correct? Then, at the bank balance on that 30th June is 1.20 something. There is this huge figure of 1 point something. And he has explained there were some checks available but have not been taken to bank, either as receipts or as outgoing. So that one is not clear, so that we know. These checks were somewhere holding money, then they were later presented maybe after the 30th of June. But it's not coming out clearly. Just put it in most layman possible so that we understand.
Okay, Office of the Auditor.
Yeah, thank you so much. What we are saying is that the hospital disclosed in its financial statement a figure of 2.528832 as cash and cash equivalent. Cash and cash equivalent means cash at hand and cash at the bank. So in the layman's language, the hospital maintains records of accounts or keeps a record of the transactions that they make in a year. So, and for cash, the record that they keep is called a cash book. A cash book. Each bank account must have its own cash book. So if you have two bank accounts, you have two cash books. So when the auditor visited the facility, he was given one cooperative bank account, and the cooperative bank account had a balance of 1,535,878. But when he looked at the cash book, the figure that he got in the cash book was 1,200,948. So leaving a balance of 334,930. So that balance, which is in the bank, needed a reconciliation. It is called bank reconciliation statement, where we begin with the way reconciliation is done is that you take the bank balance, then you add or subtract and present the checks. Then there are several other transactions you see in the cash book, not in the bank, and several other things. Then you adjust that figure, 1,550,000 to the cash book balance. That way, we then with certainty say that the balance of 1.2 million is correctly stated. But now, when we look at the financial statement, if you have them with you, there is note 9 to the financial statement. You have the financial statement. There is note 9 to the financial statement. It is on page 8. Financial statement. You see page 9, page 8. There is cash and cash equivalent. The current accounts, the figure is a bargain figure of 2,528,801. It's the same figure that is appearing on the statement of financial position, which is at page 2. Cash and the cash equivalent on note 9 is correctly referenced 2,538,801.90. It's the same thing. But we are saying that there were two accounts, one at cooperative and another one, I don't know which one. The balance for that other one has not been explained. So the difference between 2,528,831, when you subtract 1.2 million, that balance has not been explained, has not been supported. That's the only query that we have. Otherwise, and also the reconciliation for the statement, for the cooperative bank statement, those are the two questions. I hope I have cleared
from your statement, one auditor. However, that is 5.0. However, the supporting bank reconciliation statement and adjusted cash book balance of Kenya shillings 1.2,948,000 shillings, resulting in a variance of Kenya shillings 334,930, representing unpresented check, which was not supported. And now the question is, from their submissions, I never heard them talking about any unpresented check, and they did not present this as evidence. Now, how comes you had this idea that it must be that? Because there was nowhere they mentioned this check to be there. Why did you justify that it might be that, but there was no evidence? It might be because of the check, unpresented check, but there was no evidence that you were given some checks to see really if it is there.
Not to get them.
So the question is very clear that they have failed for this. Maybe they have the reasons for that. Maybe you have a reason for that. Because actually we must be having a reason. If they are not there, we should be having a reason why they are not there. So that now when we will be sitting down for our reporting, we write something from your mouth, from the guidance of law. Thank you.
Well, we have two scenarios here, and we want it to come out very clearly. They have got two bank accounts. In the KCB one, the balance shows 1.5, while in their cash book, there is 1.2. So it means the balance or the variance is 334,930 shillings. And then there is that other account, which was not, there is nothing. They presented nothing to show that there is no cash book balance presented. There is no bank balance represented. So we want to hear about that other bank also, that other account also, as she talks about the variance of 334,000. Let them talk of the money in that other account.
to the management. There's also another account which has nil the balance. What was so special or not very special to that account? And actually it is raising an issue. And why is it there?
Through the chair, I would like the accountant to respond to that.
Okay, thank you, Chair. If the details of the balances for the cooperative bank account and the KCB bank account are in that annex 9.
Maybe for a direction, Medsup, kindly put up your.
I wanted to state that the balances, the hospital has two bank accounts. We have the KCB account, which is being used to receive the NHIF. And during that year, we also used the account to receive the non-care that we talked about. Then we have the cooperative bank account that we are using as our operations account and also to receive the recurrent fund. So from the statement that we presented in 9A, I think at the next page, the balances are disclosed there. They were totaling to, in the KCB account for 1156.872839, we had a closing balance of 992,954. And I think the cooperative one, the 1.5 we have discussed here. So we just have to admit that it was an oversight for not providing the reconciliations and the cash book for this KCB account. And it's something which can be worked on and provided to the committee here. All I need to do is to liaise with the previous accountant who was handling this to provide me with the documents for presentation. Thank you.
Once you have accepted the liability the way you are pronouncing yourself, now we know how to do. We proceed.
The question that follows is similar to the one that we have dealt with. Is on inaccuracies in the statement of cash flows. The statement of cash flows reflects payments totaling to Kenya shillings 15,251,640, whose supporting schedules were not provided for audit. Further, the statement reflects cash and cash equivalent balance of 2,528,832, which differs with the computed balance of Kenya shillings 3,185,170, resulting in an unreconciled and unexplained variance of Kenya shillings 656,338. In addition, the computed balance of Kenya shillings 3,185,170 differs with the statement of financial position cash and cash equivalent figure of 2,528,832, resulting in a variance of Kenya shillings 656,338, which was not explained or reconciled. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of the statement of cash flow will not confirm.
Back to the accounting officers.
Through the chair, so the management has acknowledged the inaccuracies and has since analyzed on payment, vouchers, cash books, and other available documents, and come up with supporting schedules to support the expenses as detailed in Annex 5. Furthermore, the management has provided the bank for the financial has provided the bank for the financial year bank statement for financial year 2021-22 to report the cash and cash equivalent that has not been explained.
Back to the auditor.
Thank you, Chair. The issue is unresolved in that reconciliation has not yet taken place. Thank you.
To the members. One accountant, what could be the problem? Because, that is why you are there. What could be the problem? Just be frank and you can explain. That is now your work. Why are you messing up these people? Because you have a responsibility to do that. If you know you can't do something, why do you put yourself in something you know you can't do? You're embarrassing everybody, including the county, everybody. Why do you have to get into something which probably is beyond your ability? Every time reconciliation. What's happened? Okay. You should be in a position of explaining this because you claim to be one. Yes.
Chair, here also we are dealing with two scenarios. The first scenario is unsupported cash flow statements or cash flow. So this is an entity we just make payments without anything, without any document support why the payments are being done. And they have done it to the tune of 15 million. Then at the same time, when trying now to work out or to balance, then we still realize that the figures don't match. So the first mistake or the first offense is making payment which are not supported. There is no document to support the payment. So it means for us, we'll take it that money is there. There is no payment that was made. At the same time, this person who is masquerading to be the accountant, whatever he does things which does not match everywhere. Whatever he does, we must get a mismatch. So we don't know why the government must continue keeping this so-called accountant to continue messing up the financial statements. So I think we'll do a recommendation when it comes to the reporting time. We'll do a recommendation because in future, I don't think this so-called accountant should continue to handle these financial statements. But then the entities, it is required by the law that if there is any payment, we must get the supporting documents. Just don't do payment as if you've gone to the market with your money, unanunua peremende, unanunua sijui sugarcane, sijui there is also another juice which is sweet somewhere, you have been told you are running there to buy it, and then you come back to the... No, it cannot work. It cannot work.
Maybe if we go to our constitution, it's very clear what is required of you when you are a holder of an office. That is now chapter 236. 4(5). It says this: if the holder of public office, including a political office, directs or approves the use of public funds contrary to law or instructions, the person is liable for any loss arising from that use and shall make good the loss, whether the person remains the holder of the office or not. Madam Superintendent, you know, what we are doing here, we are doing we are guided by the principle of law. It is very important that we have to do that. There are guiding principles on what we are doing. We are not after anybody, but we are looking at what the law states very clearly we should be doing. And you hear what is here. Even if somebody was there before you and you want such kind of person, you will get that person, so long as the person is still alive or retired or something like that. But at the same time, you must take into note very clearly that whether you are in the office or not in the office, the prudent use of public fund must be adhered to. It must be adhered to. You can't just allow you spending public fund at will without due process. There are things that correspondence and all those things will support whatever you are doing. Imagine 15 million shillings cannot be accounted, and that is a public fund. And we are here, elected here, and given the mandate to oversight what is happening. And that's why you are in the House. And if we fail to do that, it means people will just be taking their hand, getting into their hand into public coffer and eating without all the supporting documents. And you expect us, we just cross our hands and say that is just normal. It is not. You can't allow that. You have to bring your papers, you have to bring all those things supporting what we are doing. And a situation of 15 million shillings. Imagine hospital life. How do you expect to move? That is a money just going on some few people's hands. And if it never went to somebody's hand, where are the evidence to prove all these things? And you know you are now given a responsibility of answering what you never did. Somebody did it there. But at the same time, you have the responsibility because you are the person in charge now. That is why you are appearing here. So, sincerely speaking, you know, we can't be happy with Ahero, sub-county hospital, to see that public fund is just being misused at will, as if that is a private property. That is not a private property. And there are ethics to be followed. When you are a public officer, you must act like one. We are state officers, we must also act like one. So it is our responsibility to act like so and to be answerable to the people. Maybe through their leaders, like you are doing now, or directly to the people out there. And you know, Ahero has had a lot of problems. You are failing to understand why the senator was talking about all these things. And you are seeing him to be now getting into issues of MCS. In fact, we were thinking that somebody might be just coming down here to take our work. But sincerely speaking, now it's proving that probably he had something very clear. And when you look at Ahero and the services they are taking there, they are giving to the public. When we came there with the chair, Senate committee of the House, and they praised you. Kumbe, it was just sugar-coated. Whatever you are doing here in Ahero, you can't allow. You won't allow this because it is our mandate to deal with. You know, the Senate cannot send you away. But with the MCS, you can send you away. You can send DC away. You can send chief officer away, director away. You are given that mandate, but the senator cannot do that. So that is why we are the first tier where your accountability, you look at it, what you are doing, and that is all. And before you go to the Senate, with all these matters, you should dispense with us. We should also dispense with you, so that we understand really what is happening. See, it is very evident. When you come here, you are coming here, you know very clearly you don't have anything to support all these things. And you just come to it. It's like you are getting into, you want to be a guest of the state. You are coming with your hands really tight. You are getting inside. So that is, you have to take note that we make the recommendations concerning all this, but we must tell you very clearly, yeah, it is abnormal. 15 million. Inaenda tu hivyo bila, without any evidence to show. That is quite unfortunate. We are proceeding. Next question.
We go to question 8.0. unsupported balances in the financial statements. The financial statement presented for audit included unsupported balances as highlighted below. Medical, clinical cost, 9,861,546. Grants and subsidies, 1,143,668. Repairs and maintenance, repairs to medical equipment, 186. And repairs to plant and equipment, repairs to plant and machinery, 21,120. Receivable from exchange transaction, 5,688,700.
Back to the management.
To the chair. So the management acknowledges the issues flagged. The management made effort to support the expenditure schedules as detailed in Annex 5. We noted further variances on the new schedule, and as such, the balances had posting errors that we are working on to avoid further occurrences. The report from the hospital online NHIF account for the financial year 2021-2022 indicated accumulated trade receivables of 3,560,500 Kenyan shillings. That being the opening balance for the year was 456,250. So the correct trade receivable for the financial year 2021-2022 amounted to 3.1 million, as shown in Annex 8. The management is geared towards averting such errors and mispostings.
Thank you, Chair. The errors have not been revised as required, so the position remains. Thank you.
Members, do you have anything to say? Maybe before we proceed, why has it taken all that time before you make the error real? Errors you are talking about. Mitsuf, this is what you can just answer. You don't need to ask for an accountant. Why is it not done as required? Because you were given a window of doing all this, and it has never happened. What's happened?
Right now, currently, we are working on making the revisions.
But we must be having a timeline that, like the other time when the auditor was with you, you were given a timeline until now that you are reappearing here. Why did you not do it in time so that we answer all these questions? So that one you can't say we are asking for somebody who went away. That is now it was your duty to go and make the error real, not appear as errors until today. Next question. The issue is not resolved. Question 90.
Disclosed balances. The statement of financial position reflects total asset balance of Kenya shillings 8,217,532. Management did not disclose property, plant, and equipment and inventory balances. However, audit inspection of the hospital's compound and offices revealed various assets including land, buildings, motor vehicles, hospital equipment, computers, and furniture and fittings, as well as pharmaceutical and non-pharmaceutical items. Further, management did not conduct stock tests for inventory contrary to Section 162, subsection 1 of the Public Procurement and Disposal Act 2015. In addition, it was noted that the hospital lacked a proper inventory management system, and therefore it was not possible to ascertain how the goods in the hospital were utilized. In the circumstances, the regularity, accuracy, and completeness of the statement of financial position could not be confirmed.
Back to the management.
Through the chair, the management acknowledges the issues flagged. The management maintains an updated and updates an asset register. However, the assets are not valued, hence they couldn't form part of the asset balances. The asset register has been attached in Annex 9 as a disclosure. The management has taken steps to ensure monthly stock takes to avert the anomaly and to ensure proper inventory management systems for procurement up to the point of utilization for regularity and accuracy.
Thank you, Chair. The assets have to be valued for them to be included in the financial statement. So until valuation is done, for them to obtain the correct values, that is the time that the balances now will be included in the financial statement. So the issue remains unresolved. Thank you.
Members?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I just want to ask, what was the reason for non-disclosure of information by the management for audit purposes?
Yeah, you may be having a reason why you did not disclose. You may be having a reason. What are the reasons? If maybe you meant good, maybe you meant, but we know non-disclosure. It may be out of ill motives. So maybe for us not to conclude on that, you must be having a reason for that.
Through the chair, I cannot say for certain why the disclosure was not done.
And especially if it is intentional, because now you sound as if it is intentional. You know, when it is intentional, you will lose a lot of assets within the hospital. Because how will you account for what is given to maybe X-ray machine or something like that? It is not within your register and you are claiming somebody stole. How? Where is it stolen? Even if you find somebody walking out of the hospital with a machine, a microscope, how actually will you account that that is the machine belongs to the hospital? So one of the reasons, if it is ill-intentioned, then there must be a scheme where the equipments are leaving hospitals with the knowledge of the med soup.
Through the chair, we have an asset register which was probably not presented to the auditors. It was probably an oversight.
Yeah, maybe it is an oversight, but you are the person in charge. After you are the person in charge of the hospital, that cannot be an oversight. Because you must be a custodian of any property within the hospital. That is one thing. And you have to account for such kind of property. And you know the value and how cheeky some of the people working within the hospital are. You must have and you must be ready to disclose all the relevant information during auditing. It is very important you do that. Because now, you see now you understand the importance of not doing that or of doing that. Any member? Now, one of the things we were actually asking the management, what were the reasons? And they had the reasons, but they are now running away from the reasons. One of the reasons is that they did have a valuer over these issues. Now, so far we can ask you, maybe we can remind you because now it seems you have forgotten about your submissions. Now, we can ask you, what are you doing now? Now that you did not have a valuer, so far, what is the condition? What is the state of the question concern? What have you done so far to rectify the situation? Because you did not have a valuer. Now, have you gone for that? Or maybe are you planning to do that? Because you have to convince the committee that you are working. See, you have been there for 6 months. Yes. Now you have to convince the committee that you are working. Truly you are working. You are not like the other person, but you are working.
Through the chair, we have not done property evaluation yet, but we have engaged we have had a discussion with the Department of Health, and we are hoping they're going to assist us. Thank you.
One thing which is also very important, well, this is a house of order and rules and regulations. We don't just deal with the hearsay. Would you please give us a letter you requested the department to provide you with the valuers? Otherwise, we'll treat it as a hearsay. We treat it as a hearsay, or it's a fact. And if it's a fact, is it backed by any document?
No, I don't have any documentation, sir.
So we proceed. Next question.
To surrender the corrected revenue to the county revenue fund, which is contrary to the law. So that is the first compliance issue. There were irregularities in procurement of goods and services, which were noted, and is as stated in paragraph 11.0. 11.1 is that there were weaknesses in procurement, which we cited, and 11.2 unlawful direct procurement of medical or clinical goods and services. 12 is on long outstanding trade and other payables which have been long outstanding beyond the allowed limit. Then there is the storage of expired pharmaceutical and non-pharmaceuticals. We don't expect the pharmaceutical to really expire. We expect them to issue the patients. When they expire, they endanger the lives of wananchi, and also it's a waste of resources. So
maybe before you go that is our concern. It's a big concern to the members, especially on expiry of drugs. It is a concern. People always ask us why there are no drugs in those hospitals. 13.0. Would you please treat it independently? You treat it independently so that you see. That is now the line of Dr. That is not the line of an accountant.
storage of expired pharmaceutical and non-pharmaceuticals. Physical verification conducted in the non-pharmaceutical store revealed that 3 boxes of ultrasound gel, 6 boxes of catheter, and 3 boxes of hand sanitizer had already expired, but were stored together with non-expired products that were still in use. This was contrary to guideline 5 paragraph 5 of the Pharmacy and Potions Board guidelines of good distribution practices for pharmaceuticals, which states that there should be a system to ensure stock rotation with frequent regular checks that the system is operating correctly. Products beyond their expiry date or shelf life should be removed from usable stock, and it must be ensured that they are neither sold nor supplied. In the circumstances, the effectiveness of the storage system of pharmaceuticals and non-pharmaceuticals items could not be confirmed.
Management.
Through the chair, due to the absence of a procurement officer during the financial year 2021-2022, the management was not able to do regular systems checks on inventory, leading to products staying beyond their shelf life. The management has since devised measures to ensure products are consumed before they expire, and if some have expired, there are guidelines to separate and dispose of them according to the laid procurement procedures and policies.
Thank you, Chair. Here, we didn't get the evidence on how the expired drugs have been disposed, so the issue still remains.
Members, that is question 13.0. And as you are preparing for that, maybe we will require some explanation from the doctor. In the absence of procurement officer, who is not in charge of drugs, the person in charge of drugs is a pharmacist or pharm tech, by one way or the other, and that is now your line. At what time did they realize the drugs are expired? Who should take care of the pharmacy? Is it the supplier, maybe this purchasing officer and what? Or it is the person in charge of the pharmacy is a doctor in the name of pharmacist? And if that is the case, how comes people require a lot of drugs and you are always crying that you don't have enough supply, and you leave drugs expiring on the shelf without helping people? And could you please assure us very clearly that these drugs, the expired drugs, were not used on patients? You know, there are some things we just have to think aloud, because we don't understand how drugs can expire. And I think Ahero Sub-County Hospital is supplying several dispensaries and health centers. You can also donate that. What happened, Dr.? You know, this one you just have to say. This one don't need any kind of arithmetic work. This one is just your line. What happened? Yes.
Chair, you see, this level post, they have a pharmacist who is duly in charge and very competent and sourced to just have that mandate of keeping our patients safe. When we have expired drugs on our shelves in a county hospital like this one, we endanger lives, a lot of them. If at all we have a pharmacist who is qualified in Ahero, I am just wondering how this could have happened. And if it happened, I think at times it calls for responsibility. Someone must take responsibility for doing this so that next time we don't have this kind of cases. An expired drugs is an expired drug is a poison. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I know it should not be disseminated to anybody or given to any patient. And the fact that they were on the shelves, they were being dispensed. Even before the audit, some were going somewhere. Because it was not that they expired on that day, the auditors were there. They were there before. Some patients must have took them. They must have been administered on some people, human beings, not crocodile, not any other animal. Someone must take responsibility. This is a very serious offense, even by law. It cannot be allowed by any standard. Even us as a committee, that is something we cannot even negotiate about. It is wrong. We cannot endanger our people. Thank you, Chair.
Daktari, you have heard the concern. You can respond to the issues.
Okay, through the chair. So, this query is in regards to non-pharmaceuticals, not drugs, medical drugs. It's the non-pharms, and in each department there's a head of department who should be doing the inventory and checkings to make sure that the products are not expired, and if they're so, they should be separated and a plan for disposal be made. So that was an oversight. According to the report here, I'm seeing like the expired, the ultrasound gel, the urine catheters and hand sanitizers were expired and stored together with other products that were still in use. So I think they were together, but they were not in use, at least according to what I'm reading here. So far, at the facility, we do not store this expired. We don't have expired drugs, and we have not yet disposed these products, but we have separated it somewhere. But I've engaged. We are in the process of starting the process of disposal. I think Dr. Emma went back to school.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. What I wanted to ask, is there a procedure, because you're still saying that you still have the drugs you want to work on it. Is there a procedure of this doing away with the expiry drugs? You're still holding them in the institution? Is there a procedure that you're still waiting for someone to give you go ahead as the maid soup of the hospital? Okay.
Or who should authorize for destruction of these drugs? who should authorize for the destruction of these drugs? Because actually, if you still call them, we might not know, because the last time we checked through the Auditor General, they were on the shelves. That's the last time that we checked. So now, if they are still there as confirmed by the MedSoup, who should authorize destruction of expired non-pharmaceutical and pharmaceutical?
Through the chair, I engaged the head of department, the current head of department, on the issue. I'm not also very well versed into that, but he told me it's a long and tedious process. But I think for him to start, he just has to write a letter to the MedSoup. Then there are different, he tried to explain there are different avenues in which they can be disposed. But it starts with writing a letter to the MedSoup, then he can facilitate those different avenues.
Actually, we have to confirm that the matter is not resolved. It is not resolved. No.
The matter is not resolved, sorry.
It is not resolved. Do you have anything, one auditor, to add? Yes. Maybe at this juncture, we need to give our final remarks. We start with the Office of the Auditor.
I want to thank the committee for interrogating the report of the Auditor General for Ahero County Department Store for the year 2021-2022. It is actually the first set of financial statements that they produced, and they had an adverse opinion. We do not assist in the preparation of financial statements because then we have conflict of interest. But when you look at the balance sheet of the hospital, it is too sketchy. It's too sketchy. I don't want to say that's why you received the adverse opinion, but it's too sketchy. You cannot just have current assets and current liabilities. You have to stay with the financial position. No, it has to have I want to thank the management of Ahero County Department Hospital for the cooperation they have given everybody from the time they did the audit to now when we are presenting the report in this committee. We are not approaching the audit from a Wicca point of view. We go by the evidence that we gather, and we document our evidence in AMS, Audit Management System. And we thank you for having come to our office and we told you that this issue is not resolved. It is not the first time you've had it here. At least you came to our office and the position that we want to take here. It did not happen as a surprise. So we are partners in the accountability process to the members of the committee. We cooperate so that we ensure that accountability of the funds that comes our way is actually done to perfection. So I want to thank my colleague who came with me, who assisted me in disposing the report. And I look forward to meeting the committee in another conversation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Office of the Auditor General. Maybe we can get to the superintendent. Maybe you have a parting shot. This is our responsibilities. Your responsibilities. It's a collective responsibility, just as pronounced by the auditor. Kenya belongs to everybody. Thank you. Karibu.
Through the chair, we as the management of Ahero County Hospital, we want to appreciate the Office of the Auditor General for the audit report and for supporting us as a facility to help us improve as an accounting entity. We also want to appreciate the County Assembly of Kisumu for this exercise of being the oversight, and for the discussions that we have had here. We are going to make sure that we take into considerations all the recommendations that have been made by the auditor, and we are going to try and improve on our weaknesses. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I get to the members, maybe CP Achayo, you have something to say.
Thank you, Chair, for granting me this opportunity to just speak to our colleagues at Ahero Sub-County Referral Hospital, and just to say that the exercise is not meant to punish or poke holes into something that you're doing. Where there is a good job that is done, we shall definitely commend, but where there are gaps, those gaps are supposed to be cited. And for an entity like Ahero Sub-County Referral Hospital going forward, it really doesn't matter who is in office. So I think probably you have learnt, Daktari, that you took over the hospital management, so you take care of both the bads and the goods. And we are told in leadership, when there is success, we want to celebrate as leaders, but when there are failures, we want to look at, oh, I was not there during that time. So we want to implore upon you to take it very positively, and that we are here. Personally, I am an accountant. I'm very passionate about public finance and accountability. And in pro bono services, if you ever need some advice, we are here. We will support you. And my joy would be one day to see you have an unqualified audit opinion. We can walk that journey. I know it is possible, and some of us are very committed towards it as citizens who love this county of Kisumu. So those would be my words. Thank you, Chair, for having us. It was also a very good point for you as Daktari to understand what will be expected of you, and that ignorance in matters law is no defense. I invite you to take a look, because I know you are a reader. Doing medicine is not something very easy, so I know you can read. Please get a PDF version of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Regulation 2015. Familiarize yourself with it. Where you have challenges understanding and interpreting, reach out to people who can help you understand. Thank you so much, Chair. God bless you.
Thank you too. Maybe if you go to the members, Honorable Matara.
Thank you, Chair, for this opportunity. To me, it's my encouragement that I can see a woman leader leading an institution. It was much of happiness to me. Thank you, Madam, for being there. And as always, we do embrace women who are in leadership. So as somebody is representing gender, I'm so grateful that you're there. It's only that you have to take your work serious, and you know that whenever you're given a report, don't just stamp it. Go through it and be assured of what you are going to present before the committee or any other entity. Be blessed.
Honorable Molo.
Thank you, Chair. I want to thank them for coming over, and I think we had a very good engagement. We just want to see prudent use of public resources in our facilities, and thank God they were here to answer those questions which were highlighted by the auditors. And I want to thank the auditors. They have been here with us all the time, and I think, and on time they are here. So it's a good gesture. Let us just carry on as we do our work. Thank you.
Vice Chair.
Please. Thank you. I didn't appreciate the auditors. I'm very sorry, but you're always with us, and we're so grateful. Be blessed.
Much appreciated, the Office of the Auditor General, and the members, the Secretariat, and the management team from Ahero. Mine is only to ask those who are given an opportunity to take their work seriously. And I believe our work is just to make sure that there is a prudent and a responsible use of public money, of which, if you go from what we've seen from the Ahero, that is not there. Again, we need an improvement. It's only that we heeded to the advice of the Auditor General. Actually, most of these things, accountants, you'll be held liable for most of them, preparing of ledger books, trial balance, making a reconciliation of statement of that one, but that is too basic. And you need to take your work seriously. Otherwise, I believe that by going forward, I doubt if we will accept to have someone who is not a registered accountant to be preparing these statements. Otherwise, I want to believe that next time you will have an improved system and everything will be okay. Thank you so much.
Even though it is the Vice Chair has spoken, Honorable Were, you are, if you have something to say.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I want also to register my appreciation to both the teams, the Office of the Auditor General, and our colleagues from Ahero. I want to just encourage them that make sure that you put your things in order. I know each and every day is a learning process. Just keep on trying your level best so that we bring back the confidence of our people, because whenever we put too much effort in whatever we are doing, the work that we are entrusted with, then people will see the value for money. Otherwise, I want to appreciate all of us, and as we leave this place, I hope that God will bless all of us. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Maybe Honorable Rakwaj, a parting shot.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. Chair, mine is just to implore on the management of the hospital to try and do what is expected of them. And they should also know that this is public money. Where there is need for supporting documents for an expenditure, let them do so, so that in future we have an improved auditor's opinion on our financial statement. And lastly, may I take this opportunity to thank the members who are here with us, the Office of the Auditor General for their continued support. Otherwise, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Members, the Office of the Auditor General, the accounting officers, and the Secretariat. Actually, it is a responsibility. You are just within the responsibility of being an elected leader and given another job of oversighting the executive. And this is what we are doing here. And we will do it for the next 3 years to come. Until now, we go home or we come back again. But it is our responsibility to deliver on the work given before us. I thank you so much, the management. I know it is not easy to appear in the assemblies. It is not easy. It's a very daunting task, especially for those who have never come here. But to an extent, you delivered. You tried your best to represent the hospital as the custodian of Ahero Hospital. Thank you so much for responding positively. We will still engage, this exercise. It will always be coming each and every year. And to the auditors, I don't know what to say on you. You have always been with us. You will always be with us. And actually, you have also trained us. Maybe if you get some fund, you can go on and invite us for another training again, because learning is a process. Otherwise, there's within the compound we have some line for the auditor's office, the MCA's office, the accounting officer's office, and the secretariat. We always do that. I hope Lady Medsuk, when we visit you there, you will also do the same. From the letter you are given to contain what is happening around. One accountant, we appreciate you, although we have a lot of challenges. I hope you are going to rectify such kind of challenges. Otherwise, the meeting is officially adjourned.